How y'all doing? This is the Iron Sun. Uh, there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about tonight. Uh, as you see with the title, the greatest nation in the world. Um, yeah, so uh, there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, really, but I'm going to try to condense it down into 30 minutes. See if I can load up a video. Got a couple of live streams coming up. I'm pretty excited for them. There's one thing tomorrow, or I think the day after tomorrow, and then there's a one after that on Wednesday, and then I think I got one on either Thursday or Friday. So I got 3 live streams in one whole week. That's crazy for me. So we'll see what happens with that. So, little current events. So I'm going to share screen and give some information away. So for anyone that wants to get active with politics, just get active with anything having to do with the government, we got populisterevolt.com. There's resources, forums, action, a lot of things you can do, and of course you have updated messages on the side here that shows you what's going on in the country in terms of the politics. And also, I believe if you click on your state, so Texas, you see the public officials, get their info. You can send them emails. You can go email all Republican senators, email all Democratic. You can do all that. There's a lot of stuff you can do there. You can track bills. So I'm going to click bill track. For the Texas legislator, you got your numerical information there. And here's your bills: HR 201, SR 403, SR 6567. So I'm going to talk about a couple of stuff. So that's the Populist Revolt. And here's Ballotpedia. Ballotpedia, I think, is good for getting information on a lot of different things. Of course, you can see things here that it's talking about. I'm not really familiar with this site as much as I am with the other one, Populist Revolt. But this is a good start if you want to get information. I think they have articles. I assume they have some stuff on the Constitution. Let's click government, U.S. government. Let's just click U.S. president, see what comes up. Gives information if you're new. Let's see. Of course, with this one, mass requirements, school responses. We got 2021 elections, U.S. Congress, special state. Bunch of information there. So if you're interested in that information, ballotpedia.org. And then the other one's, I believe the other one's populistrevolt.com, I believe. So check that out if you get a chance. All right. So there's this one video I saw recently, and I made a post on Facebook about it because I thought it was hilarious. I guess I'm the demographic. Hold on, there's a mosquito. I'm going to kill it. Yeah, definitely got it. That was too tricky. I got him. He had nowhere to go. All right. So anyways, before I was so rudely cut off by the mosquito flying on my screen, There's a couple of things I want to bring up, but I'm going to go to something really funny first, and then we'll go to the slightly serious stuff, just because. All right, let me see. All right, so we're not going to focus on my face right now. We're going to focus on the funniness. Let's see.
Today, we're going to learn about critical race theory. Now, you don't have to like critical race
Make sure I can actually hear it.
theory, but if you don't, it's because you're a racist. And if you do like critical race theory, it's because you're a racist and you know you need it. Now, let's take a look at the vital points of critical race. Okay, class, today we're going to learn.
Hold on a second. I never get this right the first time. Boop.
About critical race theory. Now okay, class, today we're going to learn about critical race theory. Now, you don't have to like critical race theory, but if you don't, it's because you're a racist. And if you do like critical race theory, it's because you're a racist and you know you need it. Now, let's take a look at the vital points of critical race theory. Point number 1, critical race theory says the most important thing about you is your skin color. That's what defines you as a person. Point number.
So, from what I understand, the algorithm kind of goes nuts if you try to play the full video out. So I'm going to do stop a little and comment on some of the stuff he's saying. So I think that's pretty much what critical race theory is, but someone probably has another opinion. If you have another opinion on it, drop in the comment section below if you disagree or agree.
Number 2, critical race theory says that if you're white, you're racist, whether it's conscious or subconscious. Point number.
So again, I'm going to stop every now and then. So this particular point that he makes, I've noticed within my small group on Facebook, and even in public, I've seen the public sway towards this particular mindset that if you're Caucasian, you're automatically racist. And if you don't support the particular ideology, then that kind of qualifies you as racist as well. Because if you go against the ideology, then the explanation is, well, the only way you would go against this is if you were racist, not if it's just a terrible ideology. Anyways.
Number 3, critical race theory says if you're a minority, you're a victim of a system that's rigged against you. Point number 4, critical race theory says racism is present in all interactions. And I really can't stress this enough to all you young racists. In other words, critical race theory is a movement that seeks to bring about racial unity by creating more racial division. Now let's break some of this down and dive deeper, shall we? Racism occurs in all interactions. It's always present. That's why you have to look for it critically. And if critical race theory is correct, that racism is present in all interactions, then after you find it, the racism will still be present. But at least now you can be angry about it. Present in all interactions, Mr. Sears? Yes, all interactions. Please consider this common example of one white customer and one black customer walking into a store owned by a white person. If the white owner helps the white customer first, he's only doing so because he's racist and he thinks the black customer is a second-class citizen. And if the
as a black person myself, this is getting kind of annoying because I like to think that my community is really strong, and this makes us look really weak, in my opinion. It's not something that lifts us up. I mean, I've never seen critical race theory lead to any type of real funds to the Black community, lifting certain people, my group, my people out of like poverty or anything like that. I haven't seen it uplift family values and strengthen the bond between my community's men and women. I haven't seen that, so it doesn't really interest me.
The white owner was to help the Black customer first. We know he's only doing so because he's racist and wants to get the Black customer out of his store quickly. Now, let's say you have a white store owner and 2 white customers walk in at the same time, and the white owner helps white customer A first. Where's the racism? It's in the fact that they're all white people because the store owner is racist and doesn't allow Black people to shop there. And the 2 white customers are racist too, because the only reason why they're shopping there is because Black people aren't allowed. Now, let's put your critical race theory skills to the test. In this video of a squirrel playing with a toy, where's the racism? Anyone? Well, it's in the fact that the squirrel only feels safe enough to play with a toy because there's no Black people around. Critical race theory. Racism is present in all interactions, kids. And if a tree falls in the woods, there's no one there to hear it, does it make a sound? No, because sometimes racism is silent. Moving along and diving deeper on the critical race theory point that the most important thing about you is your skin color. That's what defines you as a person. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Judge people based on the content of their character, not the color of their skin." He was wrong. With critical
I got some cats fighting each other in the background. So, yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I think I've blocked out enough. I think I can play a little bit more.
Race theory. If Martin Luther King were alive today, you'd be working in opposition to his civil rights movement. That's why we don't teach about this terrible person anymore. Your skin color defines you as a person. Just like how when you see a hot model on Instagram, her looks define her as a person. That's all she is, hot and dumb. Except with critical race theory, we go even more superficial than that and say, she's not hot and dumb, she's even less than that. She's white. Children, you need
that was funny.
To understand your skin color defines you. Now, if your parents ever tell you it's what's on the inside that counts, they're just trying to brainwash you into loving yourselves. Critical race theory is much better at helping you hate yourself and everyone else. Pop quiz! You have 2 students, White Bethany and Black Nancy. White Bethany happens to do better on her math test. Why? Answer? Because math is an inherently racist system. Now, diving deeper on another critical race theory point, if you're white, you're...
So with that particular point, I've had someone in my family that has some beliefs that are along those lines. There's some people that believe because a certain test was created for, they'll say a test is created for this particular group or this particular group, and they'll use that to justify having, low scores or saying, all kinds of interesting things, which, whether or not people had those intentions, I just think it takes a degree of power away from the person who's complaining. That's my main gripe on that.
You're racist. It's either conscious or subconscious. Now, you might have friends that are Black, you play with them, you love them, and if you do, you're acting out horrible subconscious racism. The only reason why you're genuine friends with them and love them is because you feel sorry for them. Because you're a racist and you think you're better than them. Tommy, critical race theory has it that there's no other reasons why you'd be friends with a Black person. And finally, let's expand on the critical race theory point that if you're a minority, You're the victim of a system that's rigged against you. The beauty of critical race theory is that it empowers Black people by encouraging them to see themselves as victims in all situations and in life. And that's empowering. Now, if you ever attend a Tony Robbins event or read any self-help, you'll quickly discover that seeing yourself as a victim is a part of all good personal empowerment. Because if there's anything more accurate than seeing things as they are, it's seeing things as worse than they are. What?
That's kind of a big point. So a lot of them a lot of people who believe in these theories, or a lot of people who at least support the ideology that's parallel to it, they tend to blow a lot of things out of proportion, and also they tend to shy against. They focus on the immediate emotion of things as opposed to the critical analysis of something. So it tends to be harder for them to get hard facts on an issue, because there's a lot of dogma and programming behind their beliefs to begin with.
Wise man once said, "You can't be a victim and a master at the same time." So critical race theory says, don't try to be the master of your life, because it'll ruin your victimhood. A quick critical race theory history lesson. Critical race theory has its roots in Marxism, where you use hatred to divide a society so that others in power can more easily control the population. Socialism and communism. Now, while calling critical race theory Marxism in its purest form is accurate, it's a hard sell, because a lot of people know what Marxism is. And for those that don't, all they have to do is Google it, and they quickly find out. Marxism is a set of social control philosophies put forth by Karl Marx and is used to usher in socialism and eventually communism. The Soviet Union, Cuba, East Germany, North Korea, and Nicaragua have all implemented Marxism and failed with tragic results for their citizens. But this time, as we're doing it to you, it's got a very high probability of working. It's kind of like if you're trying to solve the math problem 4 plus 4. You get the answer wrong dozens of times in a row when you say 6. But the next time you say 6, you'll probably get it correct.
That's messed up, man. Oh, snap. He's attacking it so hard. That undercut, man. He's got that okie doke. He's coming in with that subliminal jabs.
Here's a fun fact. Hitler used critical race theory thinking against the Jews, teaching Germans to see themselves as victims relative to the flaws he convinced them are inherent in all Jews. He used anger, hate, and blame to divide his population so he could control them by getting many to see Jews as the cause of their problems. He even got his version of critical race theory taught in schools, just like we're doing here. It's almost like history is repeating itself. That's also why it's important to rewrite history. That way we won't notice. And finally, class, let's be real. With critical race theory, to be hip and politically correct, your Instagram bio, along with listing your pronouns, you should also list your apology, because you know what you've done. And equity, social justice, and inclusion are words that you'll need to repeat often. It's been scientifically proven that the more you say these words, the more you'll be convinced that you're contributing to the reality of them.
So just got to break it up again. Make sure I don't. Make sure I can skip issues.
Even though you're doing the opposite. That's it for today's lesson in critical race theory. Now that I've indoctrinated you into what to think of yourself and other people, you've got a bright future ahead of you, kids. Any questions? Good.
How's that? All right, so that was interesting. I don't really have anything else to say. It kind of speaks for itself, and he's taking a dump on it, so I 100% condone. I condone exactly everything he was doing. So there's a guy he's talking about, I think his video or his channel is Reno May. He talks about gun rights and stuff like that. I think this is relevant to the topic. Again, the title is The Greatest Nation in the World. One of the things that I think makes the United States the greatest nation in the world is our adherence to, or at least our original creators inherent, our creators focus on keeping self-defense prominent as an important topic through the Second Amendment. As you all know, we have people trying to strip those rights away from us as Americans. So this video is also a rally call. It's one of the main reasons why I wanted to make it this live stream. I want to just kind of give my thoughts on things and just give an ear to people who may not have the guts to start making waves in even the slightest way. Not like you don't have to get in a car and do some water world thing or whatever it is where you're like freedom or William Wallace or anything. You just gotta do something. Any little thing that Americans do is going to be important. But the thing is, like, for better or worse, this is a country you have. If you lose it, you don't have anything. I mean, you might have your life, or maybe not. Probably not. But yeah, I'm gonna play this video. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know exactly what he's gonna talk about. Let's see what happens.
Everybody on the internet knows if you're into guns, you know about solvent traps, right? You know the deal that those are basically just suppressors that you just need to drill a hole in to make it into what is considered legally a suppressor. How you do that, whether you choose to go the route of going through the proper channels and getting your Form 1 and filling out the paperwork with the ATF, that's up to you. But we know that some people have gotten in trouble for buying them because they were technically suppressors because they had the holes drilled, or getting arrested after they drill them and getting caught with them. This is something that's been going on for a while, but something even worse, something that I think is going to directly affect some of you, because I know some of you have reached out to me saying you've bought these items. You're going to want to pay attention to this, and you're going to want to make sure that you avoid anything like this in the future if you're choosing to avoid getting in trouble with the law. So let's talk about that. What we are talking about today is a company and a product called portable wall hangers. I'm not going to do air quotes every single time I say that, but I just wanted to put it in there just for the first time, because what these are not in fact a portable wall hanger. They were essentially a 3D printed auto sear. Now, I understand the last time when I talked about these, people said, oh, that's not an auto sear. I get it. It's technically more of like a lightning link or a swift link, I believe they call them. It's the same concept as the coat hanger auto sear. It's a product that you drop into an AR-15, and when you pull the trigger, it makes it just go full auto until you let off. These are a 3D printed product being sold by a company, or were being sold by a company, and a lot of people are getting in trouble now. And the article and the complaint from the feds that I'm going to read to you is actually pretty interesting, and you're going to want to pay attention to it. Before we get going into that, I want to say, hey, thank you to the sponsors of the channel.
So I'm not even going to let him finish. I'm going to show a little bit of this video and then I'm going to be done. But I don't think I had to belabor this point. So you can kind of see, if you're following the progression of what's happening with the Second Amendment and with the rights we have for gun rights in the country, it's kind of slowly being taken off as much as what will be allowed. But then, we can kind of see the slow chipping away of gun rights through little small things like, oh, you can't have it full auto, only semi-auto, or only, 1 round burst. Like, yeah, people have the right to have a gun. That's, full stop.
comply. We got our new shirt. This is the "Shall Not Be Infringed" with my little logo. So this one is specific to me. I'm super stoked about this. I kind of like how the pink came out. I think it looks good. Feel free to agree or disagree, but I like it. Feel free to check it out. First link down in the description. That will have all the information for the merch, various other links as well that you might want to check out. Thank you. So let's jump into the article that we're going to be talking about today. The FBI says Boogaloo extremists bought 3D printed machine gun parts. A criminal complaint alleges that a West Virginia man disguised the plastic components as wall hangers and sold hundreds
Oh
of
no, they're
online.
extremists because they
basically,
want to upgrade a
what's going
gun.
on? Well, a criminal
Really?
complaint filed last week accuses Timothy Watson, a resident of Ransom, West Virginia, of selling more than 600 3D printed plastic components of automatic rifles through his website, portablewallhanger.com. The FBI says Watson attempted to disguise the devices as wall hooks for keys or coats. Remove an extraneous bracket from the wall hooks, and the remaining small plastic piece functions perfectly as a drop-in auto-sear. A simple but precisely shaped rifle part that can convert a legal AR-15 into a illegal, fully automatic machine gun. So interestingly enough, the website is still up on there, and here's what it is. Just shop all. Boom. You got your red coat hanger pack, your portable wall single pack, your portable mask hanger, if you want to keep that around in your car. I think the red coat hanger pack is particularly interesting with the naming. Basically, this guy, and I talked about this previously when I talked about the solvent trap stuff. This guy was going around, and he actually followed me on Instagram. I think we interacted once. Interestingly enough, the Instagram is no longer active. That's been deleted or deactivated. This guy.
I made sure I'm not going to play the full video this time because I think I'm going to keep it at 30 minutes. But you get an idea of what's going on. There's a bunch of other videos he has that explains further about a lot of things. I think there's a video about the stock at the end of AR-15s and how, I don't know if it's a particular type of stock that's being banned. A lot of things are going on with that. And I think people need to at least know what's going on. So I did want to go into some constitutional stuff on my channel, but I won't be able to go into it this particular time because I kind of want to I just want to chill out right now. So I'm kind of going to wrap up one of the greatest things that I wanted to say on this. Thank you. Bump stock. Yeah, stock. Yeah, I'd probably look up a video on what it looks like to show people. No, I'm not doing that right now. So I just wanted to, so this was kind of a rally cry for people that consider themselves to be Americans. Just anyone hearing me, anyone listening. And yeah, commie or pseudoscientists, what you were saying, that's exactly what they want to do. That's a different conversation, slightly different conversation. I don't think we have to let it get to that point. The whole critical race theory thing is kind of stupid. It's kind of annoying to be seen as the group that's trying to pull everyone else down like crabs in a barrel. Like, yeah, I'm a black person, or at least I look black. I don't know. I'm an American, just like every other American. But the thing is, it's kind of stupid. We're focusing on the fucking, melanin. We're focusing on a difference, a genetic mutation. I think it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, most of our DNA is fairly similar for the most part. And we're all on the same continent, so. Oh man, no, I'm just getting the message out. That's what I'm here for. There's a yawn for you, for anyone listening. All right, so a couple of other things. Yeah, so one of the reasons we're the greatest country in the world, even though they're trying to take it away, I can buy a gun. I can own a gun. I can every other right that is given to me by the Bill of Rights and by the Constitution, the real Constitution, not the fake Constitution. Pseudoscientists, you may be right about that. It gets complicated. I won't go into it, but yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm aware. They got some crazy cats. Generally speaking, though, I don't know. I think we're all Americans. I think seeing ourselves as these small identities are like, oh, you're white, you're black. It's smaller in the grand scheme of things. I'm an American. I'm also a human. I think that's what we need to be focusing on. I don't think we're all one race. I think it's complicated, but at the same time, I'm into some very crazy theories. But beyond that, I do think we're all Americans, at least on this continent. If you're in America, then I would assume you're an American, and if you're not American, that's a different story. But for all the Americans, I think you got to understand there's things going on in the shadows. There are people fighting for you right now. There are people fighting for you you'll never meet, you'll never know, and it would behoove you to live up to their sacrifice for you, either for their life or for their time, everything. It behooves you to actually, get in the game and figure out what you can do to contribute to other people. Yeah, man, they really don't. But y'all got to understand, man, like, you can't just be handing your rights off to people who don't have your best interests in mind. Like, it's stupid. I know people don't have theory inside of them about what's going on. I know people are lackadaisical. I know, you're going to job, working a 9 to 5. So you're like, what do I care? I'm just trying to pay the bills. Thing is, I guess I'm not talking to the majority, because I know the reality is majorities don't make waves. It's the small minorities. They're the ones who make change. They make lasting change. The majority's always been dumb. But for anyone listening to this and who can take it seriously or with a grain of salt, you don't need to be selling your soul, selling yourself out to pharmaceutical industries and to, the make-believe government. I mean, there's got to be more value to you than just selling yourself out. And the thing is, I mean, I saw a guy at Walmart today, and he said he's going to give the jab to his kid. His kid's not even like 2 years old, I think. Maybe if that. They're 2 or younger. And what he told me is, hey, if it worked for people who are competent, like doctors and stuff like that, and most other people believe it's good, so I believe it's good. That's what he told me, pretty much word for word. I was cordial, and it's like, thank you for your opinion. Okay, that's cool and stuff like that. Moved on, but in the back of my head, I'm thinking, wow, okay, this is where it is. You got people that don't even know what they're putting inside of them. You got people who they don't even recognize, they don't even know the evils of the people who they're voting in office. They don't even know what they represent. It's kind of a crazy time. There's one thing I wanted to talk about. I'm not going to make it a video. I'm going to say it right here in the live stream. So one of the things, because I know on this channel, I typically talk about sexual dynamics between men and women, talk about red pill content and stuff like that. But thing is, so I think one of the critical aspects, and you can kind of also bring this into red pill stuff, stuff. Thing is, I think people forgot how to get angry. They forgot how to get mad. Yeah. We forgot how to get angry. We've forgotten how to actually get pissed off. And for some people, they won't feel that fury. They won't feel that fury until they see the reality of what's going on. I recently, I mean, this might scare you, but I mean, the things that are going on to this country, it's not, and they've been going on for decades. Yeah, regarding the Constitution, regarding the family courts, regarding the Law Society, where do you think all of that came out of? That was an illegal movement, an illegal infiltration of our original nation. It's not there justly. Not the family courts, not the Law Society, not all those lawyers, all the, like, pretty much any industry you can think of has been infiltrated by something that's not good. But for the purposes of this conversation, I'm going to focus on fury, getting angry, anger, especially righteous anger. Righteous anger is something you got to feel, and you got to get comfortable. You got to get comfortable actually getting pissed off at something. You got to get comfortable with people seeing you pissed off. Because here's the thing. If you're an adult, right? Perfectly fine if you want to get murked by your own government, but fucking children? No excuse. No excuse. Even I have to work on it. Because, I mean, I have a really long fuse, but the thing is, it's going to come time where if you don't get furious now, the ones who will, they're going to get really, really furious later on. I know a lot of people are afraid. They think, oh, I can't make waves. If I do something, I'll get off by some secret society or some secret group. Here's the thing. If you do nothing, you're still going to get offed. So, why not do something? Why not go? I mean, I'm talking to men on this channel, right? So if you're a man, stand on your fucking feet. Face death. That's how serious you got to be with this. Look. And I'm not even, here's the thing. I don't have to go through theatrics and foam at the mouth, but fury, I might do another video on this, but fury is something you got to feel. And righteous fury, righteous anger, that's something you got to get used to doing. You got to get used to showing people that side of yourself, because you're not really going to be able to, even men in the red pill, MGTOW community, some people call them separate, it's fine. So fury, righteous anger, it's not bad. You've been tricked to think that being angry about stupid shit, you've been tricked to think that that's bad. It's not bad. It's good. You're probably gonna get pissed off later anyway. Seriously though. I'm such a mellow guy. I don't even, I have it so dialed in that I don't even reach that level, but we don't really have time, and children are involved in this. This isn't just adults deciding, having a decision. Kids don't have a decision. If their parents are dumb and stupid, they have to do whatever. They have to get the jab. They might have to get it, because if the parents don't read up and they don't know what the hell is in a jab, then the kid has to go along with what the parent does, unless the kid's old enough to make their own decisions. But you got 2-year-olds, 5-year-olds walking into this stuff. There's nothing funny about that. There's going to be a lot of shame. There's going to be a lot of pain and anguish with this going forward. But anyone who sees this video, and you can take this information in without having an emotional reaction, you can be an adult about it. You know, I think this is going to suit you well. And I think we can work together and actually make a difference and not divide. The stupid, what is it? Critical race theory, all this dumb bullshit, racist division shit that the people who are at the top who are holding all the wealth, them making that stupid plan and everyone going along with that stupid shit. And you really can't make it up. But like even my own community, like they flock to this stupid stuff like flies to a flame. It's sad. Moths to a flame. Listen, the choices we make this year, this is going to affect future generations. Basically, it's going to ripple out into the future for a really long time. This is what's going on now is big. It's probably bigger than World War II. It's probably bigger than anything that's ever happened. And if it goes the way bad people want it to go, it'll be bigger than the Holocaust. That's real shit. But yeah. So my main point on that subject is to pull your head out of your ass if your head's in your ass. That's it. I don't need to go beyond that. I'm not here to beat someone's ass physically. I'm here to talk sense into the people who are thinking, maybe I'll do nothing. Maybe have a conversation with someone out in public. Maybe not subscribe to something you don't want to be in. Maybe do the research on something that you're taking and putting inside your body. Do the research on laws that you accept in your district, wherever you live, all of that. Do something. Oh, we got to flatten the curve and man. Yeah. Empathy, you can be as empathetic as you want, but if you're a weak little thing, it's not gonna get you anywhere. And I know they're using empathy against people who are really empathic. It makes sense. If I was a psychopath, I would do that because I wouldn't be bogged down by that same trait. So I'd have leverage over the other person unless they could turn that off. They could flip that switch and recognize when they're being fucked with. If you recognize when you're being fucked with and you show up to school and you can see people, or you see the teachers, the administrators saying, hey, you have to take this jab. And if it's my kid, I'm going to say, listen, if I hear about the kid getting the jab forced on them, I'm going to literally find whoever administered that jab and I'm going to put lead in their face. Seriously. That's as far as you need to go with this. And you don't have to get to the point where you're foaming at the mouth and swinging around your arms and shit. You can kind of see I'm just slightly elevated. But, I mean, this could be a rant in itself, but I'd like to think, look, for all this shit that's happened in America, yeah, it's not the greatest country in every way. We've had our mistakes. We've made we've done our dealings and things like that, but what makes this country great is I can say this shit and I'm not dead yet. That's what actually makes it great. There's also a couple other things that make this country great. There's a couple of things this country needs to work on. But Fury, again, this is technically the bonus topic. So if I can find that, I'll put that up. Fury. What does it mean to have righteous fury? What does it mean to be righteously angry? Is it wrong to be righteously angry? Is it wrong to show anger to someone? No, it's not. There's nothing wrong with it. Again, I'm mellow. I'm just a naturally mellow guy. But if it got to the greatest extremes where I needed to fucking really go at it on somebody physically, even to the point where I had to kill someone, what the thing is, like, yeah, I've heard that, Pseudo. I don't know for sure. I can send you a link. I can send you a link privately on that if you want to do emails, because I mean, I have some information. I'm privy to certain things. So if you want to know my source, I can give you. I mean, give me your email and I'll send it to you. But I won't do it on a live stream or anything like that right now. I'm not going to focus on that. This is mainly the point of this. One of the things that makes fury, anger, so powerful when it's righteous is that getting angry and getting aggressive, it actually gives you the strength to overcome something you're afraid of. So just having that anger, being pissed off, I mean, I don't know, just feel it sometimes. Sometimes it feels good. How many people have been angry? Righteously angry. I mean, I know we give our pleasantries when we walk across each other, like, oh, hello, yes, especially the men. Like, oh, yes, yes, have a good day. Oh, nice to see you, stuff like that. But righteous anger, when you know someone's doing something wrong and you're about to bust their head open. I'm not talking about white knight stuff. So, oh, man. Righteous anger gives you the strength to overcome your own inadequate response. It allows you to override your reticence, your reluctance to do something. That's what does it. You think the people who fought for this country initially in the American Revolution, you think they just went out and just fought blindly? No, they had families. They had situations where they had wives, girlfriends. They had things that they wanted to get back to. They wanted to have a life. But these people, which are essentially our forefathers, decided to put that stuff on hold and fight the greatest military in the world. I'm just saying. And we're the same country, right? Or we claim to be Americans. We claim to be a part of that strain. Look, I'm not saying that I'm like I'm not saying that I haven't fucked up and, succumbed in some ways. There are moments where I wore a mask, so you can shit on me if you want. But the thing is, you got to start somewhere. You got to do something. Don't look at me as like I'm not even the poster guy. I'm just here to give you a little taste of something you already have inside you. There's some people, I know you're there. There's some people who this is bullshit, but you don't have the courage to stand up and do something. That's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you. You need to get angry. You need to get mad. You need to actually understand the repercussions of doing what you're doing. Family members are being lost over this. Suicide rates are going up over this. Alcoholism in men, alcoholism in people in general are going up because of this stupid stuff that we allowed, the stuff that we walked in. Take it as a joke if you want. I don't think it's a joke, but I know some people are going to see this and just gloss over it. So with the bonus topic, one of the main things I wanted to say, and I wanted to keep reiterating, keep repeating, is righteous angry, righteous fury. That's what helps you overcome your reluctance to do something. When you actually know in your heart that it's a good cause, and you show that aggression internally, and you feel it viscerally, that's what gives you the strength. That's what gives you the will to overcome the reluctance. It's a very powerful thing. Even with red pill stuff, with your girlfriend, your wife, dealing with a woman, dealing with one of the things red pills don't talk about, or red pill men don't talk about, is when I say red pill men, here's the thing. I'm not saying focus too hard on the ideology, because ideological possession is a thing. So all I'm saying is the axioms, the truth axioms that are in that movement, you can kind of focus on that, and you can kind of cling to that hard if it's the truth. If it's the truth, then you can know it's the truth and take righteous action against someone who's going against that, going against your principles as a man. But this is for the women too. You're an American too. Defend your country. This is your country. You only get one. If you lose this, where are you going to go? Yeah. So like I was saying, the greatest nation in the world, United States, and we're living in it. It's an honor. I know it's not perfect. Funny thing about critical race theory, black people had slaves too. They won't tell you about that. They don't tell you the full truth. They only tell you things that make one group look bad and the other group look better. It's annoying. Same with feminism. There's a guy in the early 1900s who actually wrote a book on how feminism was actually giving women rights that were undeserved, even as early as 1914. I'll cover that in future live streams, but for y'all who want to know more, I think the content creator is a autistic woman of all things. Eighth Square, I believe, is her. I think she's either autistic or Asperger's. Eighth Square is the channel name. By the way, it seems to be a trend. The women who actually understand the points that MGTOW or red pill men are making, men who subscribe to those philosophies, they seem to be either autistic or Asperger's. They tend to have, ironically, more male mind, which I don't know. Take that for whatever you want to take on it. Take that for however you want to take it. Yeah, but that's the main thing I wanted to say. America, we're very powerful, but think about it. That's the only reason why they're trying to divide us. We're a sleeping giant. We're like the guy at the gym that if he started lifting, everyone would stop and watch. Only he's sleeping. He's attacking himself. He doesn't believe in himself, so he won't pick up the weights. That's all I got to say. I'm reading comments right now. They can fine us 10,000 up here for no mask. Really now, pseudoscientists, where are you at? Are you in Canada? Correct. America's pretty, yeah. It already looks biblical, pseudoscientists. We got people taking what you could call the mark of the beast, if you wanted to call it that. We're already in biblical times. It already looks biblical. We're not going towards it. We're already in it. Yeah, I know about Project Paperclip. I know about a lot of different things. I know about Project Montauk. I know about so many different things, but that's not for the stream for right now. I'm not saying don't say it. I'm just saying I already know about it. You're preaching to the choir. Oh, you're in Canada. Oh well, y'all are bound by different rules. I mean, I know you all are our next door neighbors, but y'all are bound by different rules. I'm trying to do my thing in my country. I mean, you as a Canadian, you got to do what you can do in your country. But one thing I can say is we're the leaders. America's the leader. If we fall, every other nation falls. We're that first domino. If we go down, they all go down. But if we stand up, every other nation will stand up. That's what people got to understand. We're leaders collectively. And if we keep showing this weak stuff that we're doing, granted, I know I'm being watched. I know I'm being watched by multiple groups, good and bad. That's the thing, though. They can already see my face on Facebook. By the way, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm going to put this out there. Facebook was not designed or was not created by Mark Zuckerberg. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. I won't go further than that. Do research, not just that, but take pride in your country. We're in a very pivotal, also very delicate spot at the moment. By the way, Pseudo, before I head out, I didn't expect to go for an hour, but Pseudo, before I head out, if you want the links, I got links on current events and what's going on the deeper levels. Send me your email in the comment section, or if you want to come up and put it in the private so that it's not seen on stream, you can do that as well. Just ask for a link. Oh no, it's worse than that, Pseudo. It's more than just he stole Facebook. It's worse. It's way worse. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I have updates on what might be happening. I could give you a hint. I don't know if that's something that would get my channel taken down. I'll give you a hint on what's going on. There's basically a lot of infighting in the military and at the upper chains of government right now. But there's been a lot of action taken against that in order to fix that. If you want to give your number, you can. No, I'm not risking it. I was just dancing around it. Yeah, dude. I trust me, man. I go as far as I have to. Like, I'm pretty open to anything in terms of like topics and possibilities for what's going on. Yeah, if you want to give me your number without it being seen on stream, you can do private chat, or you can just put it in the comment section. I'll literally send you a direct link of some of the intel and info I got, which, by the way, this doesn't come from someone who's in a high ranking position. It just comes from sources that I've found, and I can't prove it 100%. So I'm not saying I have the answers. I'm just saying I have information that may be useful to you and anyone else watching. Yeah, but for today's purpose, just understand, I'm technically talking to men. But regardless of whether you love or hate this country, it's the one you got. It's like your family. You can love them or hate them, but that's all you got. It doesn't let me copy your number. It just says it's going to put me in timeout. Or I can put you in timeout. It's such a weird thing. All right, I'm pretty much done, y'all. But I know there's pretty much probably only one person in here. But, This is my soapbox. I gotta say my deal. I gotta say what I believe and then get it off my chest and finish and move on. Oh, okay. Give me a second. Go ahead. You can take it off. I got it. I got your number, man. You can take it off right now if you want. This was 30 minutes longer than I thought it was going to be. That's pretty much the end of it. So I'm going to give some quick current events. Poop. So a little bit of current events and a little bit of some updates. I got a couple of streams coming in the future. I'm pretty happy about these streams. So Pseudo, I'll email you right after this live stream on some information that I have about what's going on and where they're at right now. Thanks, man. Yeah, I showed a little bit of raised to a little bit, pretty high with the tension. Again, I'm a mellow guy, so even when I'm super serious, it may not necessarily look like it because I don't foam at the mouth or throw my fist around or anything like that. Yeah, so again, I got a couple of live streams coming up. I'm really happy about them. There's a lady who's a marriage counselor. I'm talking to her. That's going to be a fun conversation. She was cool to talk to in the event I went to, the Patriot Street Fighter event. That's funny. I listened. The first thing I did, I think when I saw Scott McKay and Patriot Street Fighter, he was saying, when I was listening to his live streams, he would say, you guys start your little channels and then I'll come up on the, I'll come up and help you. And, if you can start your little channels, that's what matters. I mean, it's harder. It's respectable because you don't start with crazy amount of views. You're just kind of speaking your piece. But that's what I'm doing. I'm speaking my piece. So with that, y'all have a good night. Serious, righteous anger, righteous fury. Figure out what you're angry at and get mad. It's actually okay to get mad at something. But then do something. Don't sit in the anger and try to be a victim. Actually take action. Because these stupid movements, all of them, I don't have to name them, all of these movements just designed to keep you sitting and venting about things, but not actually going and taking action. You notice there's no real action ever done with these movements. It's just complaining in this little holding pattern. But then there's someone at the top controlling that. Got to stop that. Anyways, y'all have a good night. Later, Pseudo.